So what are the subjects your daughter has right now?
It's French, first language,
Uh,
then Dutch means Netherlands, second language, then
okay.
history, geography, physics, chemistry, biology, then mathematics, Latin, and she has to, means there is compulsory gym also,
Oh,
physical education, and they have to do some bib test and gym classes. That is also evaluated.
oh, okay. So
So
the
every year you have to do a long jump, or and
oh,
you get a certificate of that also. It's,
so that is a
yeah, it's a
part of a
curriculum.
school
Yeah,
curriculum.
Mandatory. Yes.
it's
Okay.
mandatory.
So does she have a training for that as a part of school?
Yeah. From the school itself, they have a gym. In every school, there is a gym,
Okay.
and they are given gym classes regularly. And you
Okay.
have to do lots of exercises and all. Those are part of the. Sometimes they're angry now since they're now grown up, so they can
Right.
express. But previously, they used to be very happy doing the gym classes and go for swimming. That is also part of their. And sometimes school arranges good trips also. They had a ski trip, and this year my son will be having a ski trip.
Okay.
So you are given a basic ski training there. That's a training camp they will be having for 7 days. So
Okay.
first 4 days they will have the basic training of the ski. Then they will start skiing and evaluated on that basis also.
Oh.
And
So until primary,
Mm.
I mean the trips, day trips or let's say a week-long trips, these are mandatory in
Okay.
almost every year of the schooling. Until primary, it's within Belgium, and once you're in the secondary, I mean you're more senior, then the trips are more abroad in different other European member state countries.
last year my daughter went to Rome from Latin class. It
Oh.
was the Latin students of the school.
Okay.
So they were having a Rome visit. So it's nice.
Yeah.
And these are actually, I think these are very good to make them a little bit independent. They at
Yes.
least know how to pack their bags, but
Yeah. Yes. True.
and sometimes to do their bed and breakfast also there, because it's always in Indian household. We are Indian household, though we are living in Belgium, but it's Indian household, so it's already a big choice of food menu. But when you go with the school, it's
Yeah.
more
Limited.
compulsory ones.
Yeah, and you have to adjust with that.
Yeah.
No, that's really very different, this gym thing, which is like I don't see as a part of curriculum, in Indian schools. Now, actually, there are a lot of, importance given to sports, and there are many schools who are, supporting this sports culture, but still to make it as a part of your curriculum and as in, the students are evaluated based on that. That is, it shows that how much they, give importance to health part as well, right?
And when he talked about PMS regarding this psychological health and all, I must say that every year the school sees all with the vaccination program also. Means for the kids, they always maintain a chart for all the kids for the vaccines that they have been given and the ones that they need to be given in near future. And for boys and girls, they have all done this vaccination.
The human papillomavirus.
The HPV,
virus.
HPV vaccine, it's mandatory for the girls as well as for the boys also here. So it's mandatory within the mandatory program of the health thing in the school.
Yeah, so apart from the vaccination, they also have
Eye checkup.
general health checkup, which is also mostly the auditory senses, the ocular senses, I mean to see, to hear, and how is the general health. So they will also provide us health certificate after the checkup is done. So that's once annually, which is mandatory in all the public medium schools.
Okay. And that's vaccination and all, everything is done by school, or they just notify you and you have to get it done?
So, because our kids have already been vaccinated when we came here, so I don't know the detail about the maternal section ones.
Okay.
But now, means after the age of 10, whatever vaccines that were given, the school will also be providing it.
Yeah, so
So they will actually plan that.
yeah. So normally the schools will always, regarding the health, what I have observed is they will always give you a choice whether, I mean, if you authorize them to vaccinate your children or to do, let's say, a health checkup, they will do. Otherwise, you will have to do and provide the certificate to the school.
And here, every household has a house physician. So all our records are not with us, it's with the house physician. So every record of our health issues are with the, normally it's with one of the medicinal practitioner. All the details are with him. So regarding our kids also, it's that certification that has been transferred to the house physician, and it's actually guarded there, safeguarded.
And in India, again, there is a common trend of, having school. Most of kids, when they are in 9th standard, or many people even from 6th and 7th standard, they start with the tuitions, right, after school. So you have to go to tuition. And nowadays, there's a new trend started where you have an integrated coaching in school itself, with the many ed tech companies coming, or there are many, yes. So it's there where, once you are in 9th and 10th grade, so if you have to prepare for, all those entrance exams and all. So after the school, so they have, I don't know, because our son, we have not enrolled for any such program. But I heard from him, and I know from many of my friends as well, that once you're in 9th or 10th standard, you can opt for this integrated coaching classes, where those kids who have enrolled for that, they have a separate section in a school, and they have a different timetable, and then they leave for coaching centers. Buses from school fly to their coaching centers and all those things. So how is that in Belgium? Do you have a tuition, this thing or something? How is it?
At least we don't know about that. It's only what he mentioned earlier, that if your child needs an extra practice or anything, that you can arrange from agencies who are available in the internet. And supposedly, he was talking about one teacher whom we appointed for 2 months. She was a medicinal student. She was studying medicine, and she just came over to help with French, because we couldn't help our son with the French. So initially, it was long back, but it's not that common for the tutorial things in school. But yes, in school they give extra hours if it is required. That I know. Okay. That if you meet as a parent in parent-teachers meeting, that I express that my son is weak in mathematics, or he needs a special help, then that will be taken care of by the school, but that is not with extra charges or anything.
Okay.
Because the teachers are responsible for that.
Okay.
It's at the year end, the teachers are also evaluated every time. It's a really difficult system that goes on here.
Yeah. So I think in India we have a lot of this tuition culture, so which you are saying it's completely different, right? So as you were saying that, teachers are responsible and they are also evaluated. But I remember one, a meme seeing very long time back. So there's a father and son going for admission, and that whoever that admin guy, so he or she is saying to father, you have to buy uniform from school, bag from school, shoes from school, and whatever else. And then he's asking, what about education? So for that you have to go to tuition. so that's what it is. But yeah, but I think that's really good. In Belgium there is no tuition culture, and the school takes responsibility for that, right? Okay. And so now I think you already talked about there is something called as an open workshop where parents go and speak. So basically what I want to understand, how is the parents' involvement or engagement with school, or how parents contribute, or how often you have to meet teachers or go to school? Because here in India our involvement with school is restricted only to parents teacher meeting, so which happens every quarterly after every result comes, and we just go and meet them. So is it different there in Belgium?
Yeah, sometimes it's more here because I think the parents association in every school, they are very active ones. It's a little bit different for us because we couldn't communicate in French previously, so we just depended on other friends who could speak with us in English to understand what is going on and so. Yeah, but the thing is that um, uh, previously, when one teacher was absent for a long time, supposedly when my son was in standard 6 or 7, yeah, 6, my teacher was particularly, maybe she was indisposed or she was sick, and she was not present for a long time. And our son was having this board exam coming soon. So I saw that all the parents association, they were aware of the fact, and they insisted the school to just arrange for a replacement teacher very soon, and it was arranged. So it's your words which are given importance there, means as a parent, and in every respect there is a communication from the school. They actually inform us everything. Our mail IDs are with them, so regarding every possible new thing that they are going to introduce, they will inform us beforehand. So it's a common thing that, and you have a right to speak there since it's government school. And I think there is a mindset like that. All the citizens are equal, so they have the right to speak and express themselves. So all the parents, they speak out. There is no problem. There is no tension that your kids will be victimized if I'm speaking for something. That's not so.
Okay.
To address Sonia's question, I mean more completely, and to add what Sumedha mentioned, the parent-teachers involvement is more common during the primary classes until the end of primary. In the secondary, the involvement of the parents with the teachers or parent-teacher meetings are becoming less common. I mean, it's not being mandatory nowadays, although there is always, whenever there are periodical evaluations, let's say in December or in April or end of session, which is in end of June, the school will always provide you an option to meet the parents of different subjects. Teachers of different subjects, if you want. I mean, nowadays it's not made mandatory, but if there are issues or learning deficiency of your children, you can go and meet the teachers. However, for those appointments, you have to schedule the appointments at the times.
And it's more through email and those communications you can express your things. But I believe that from secondary onwards, the students are here are actually responsible. Means for every act of yours, you are responsible. It is taught to them in that way. So if you are not understanding, means your comprehension is, there is a problem with your comprehension regarding a subject, it's good that you come up and say your problem. It's not essential that your mother and father has to come and rush and say for you. You can have the right to speak up also.
Right.
So here the students are more responsible.
So you don't have a concept of parents-teacher meeting?
No, you can. There is a concept, but it is not mandatory
That's
in
not
your.
scheduled. Like
Yeah.
for us here, it's a schedule. Like every quarter, once we have we have again parents-teacher meeting. We go and meet.
It used to be like that in the primary section,
Okay.
but once it's higher, means after the 9th standard, it is a little bit reduced.
Okay, I think most of the things I have covered. Just in the last bit of this, see, as we already talk about this, tuitions and grades and marks and going for entrance exams and all. So when we do career counseling and we come across many students, right? So what we feel they are lacking apart from studies, maybe they are academically very well, but they are lacking some life skills, which we call it as a life skills, like financial literacy or leadership or putting theory into practice. So, how you see that in their education system?
I will say that in the process of, in a normal course of studies during the school days, in a process they have become more independent. That what I was telling now, it is taught to them that you are responsible for your own acts. It's not that your father and mother will be judged for whatever you are doing. So you are grown up, whatever you do, you are responsible. So by that, they can understand that, they have to perform something. Means it's not that. I think the teachers in the school and the parents at home in this culture are more of facilitator kind. Means they actually make your life easy. They provide you with all the information, but you have to act accordingly. You have to choose for yourself. It's not that somebody else is going to choose for you. In India, what you also just said a few minutes back, that in our childhood it was only medicine. Means either you can become a doctor or you can become engineer. So there is no much choice. Means either you have to go this way or that way, and the parents are always there to help you out in every situation. And that I feel sometimes that is what is responsible for the lack of life skills. Because once a child knows that it's always the parents, it's good that in Indian household we are always morally we are going to support you. That is what we can say to our kids. We are always there. Whenever you have problem, we are going to support you, but you have to decide for yourself. That is also important. That I think will help them to for the leadership, or to understand what is essential and what they love. Because if I make a choice for my kids, then it's my love, it's not their love or passion that is going to be reflected in the profession. So that's
so something which is
sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's very difficult for a mother to let go, but it is sometimes very much essential also that you leave it to them to decide.
Correct. Because we with having some years of experience, we always think that we know that what they are going through, but yes, as you said, we also give them freedom to decide for themselves. That's how they
the freedom to do a fault also, a wrong choice.
Right.
I think that is also essential.
Right.
But I think in India it is difficult. If I say it sitting here in Belgium, it's much easier to say than to do. Because in India, it's so much competition that a wrong choice is going to waste 1 year. But here, it's not that difficult. You can make a wrong choice, then you return and make a right choice. Because it's not that 1 year is going to be very crucial for you.
Right.
Because the competition is not going to compound in that way. But India, I know that it's really, because we also used to have the same competition.
Right. Yeah, so that flexibility is there.
Absolutely.
Right. And do they have any kind of internships during the school years to just get the feel of any kind of profession they want to do, or we also call it as job shadowing? Is there any kind of such thing happens there during school years?
I don't think during the school years they have these kind of choices, but it's always in the superior ecole. They have a vocational training, or it's after the school years. Because as I understood,
recently, when my daughter is now in 11th standard, so she has had this experience of this open workshop with the parents. They are going to have 2 open days, actually, Saturday and Sunday, in one particular, which is organized by the government, where they will actually have the same kind of options to survey and to explore different job opportunities or different career opportunities. Means if you study this, then you can just end up doing this. If you study that, then you can have a job in that area, like that. It is
it's more of exploration than an internship. I mean, not a voluntary or paid internship, which is within the school curriculum, or which you can do before you could complete the schooling. I mean, it's more after immediately after the schooling, or let's say after the graduation courses.
Graduation courses have internships. They are
Yes.
integrated internships are there in the graduation and post graduations also.
A big difference from the Asian countries and the European countries is, I think, maybe more than 50%. I don't know the stats, but maybe more than 50% of the children who are coming out of the school, or I mean completing their secondary education, 12th standard in India, they do not proceed to the grad school. I mean, much fewer numbers compared to the Asian students. They actually make it to the grad
Here.
here
Yeah.
in the grad schools, and much less number in postgrad courses. So actually, their education completes with the school education, and then they get kind of superior ecole or
Or training, yeah.
vocational trainings or internships, and then they start their jobs.
Actually, here the kids, they have to earn from 18 years of age.
Is that compulsory?
No, it's not compulsory, but it's more in some of the households that the parents are not going to support.
Support them. Oh.
They cannot support. Means it's expected that they have to earn there, but it's not for all households, because there I have seen many Belgian people who actually send their kids for the university studies also, and they bear the costs also like that.
Or otherwise he'd have to sponsor him or himself or herself.
No, it's more from the age of 16 onwards. They can do some odd jobs.
Okay.
And in 18, generally, I have seen that summer jobs they go for. Means during the summer vacation, I have seen when I was associated with Ghent University, the master students, they used to do she was doing masters, but she was engaged in summer job. Means she was cleaning some offices during the summer vacation, and that too she was earning a lot, and she told me that she was going to have an Italian vacation with that money, and that's very good.
Yeah.
So you don't need to depend upon your parents for sponsoring the vacation like that. So the mentality is a little bit different, because no job is considered different. Means there is no hierarchy of job.
Right. Yeah. And that also it gives you kind of a financial independence as well.
Yes, financial independence. That might be a way of giving you the ideas of financial literacy or anything like that.
Right. Okay, finally, so any final thoughts from your side to Indian students or parents who are planning to move to any of the European countries?
Well, yes. I mean, it's not an advice, but what I have observed from the schooling system, education system, and the students is make yourself more independent in your actions, or in the lessons, or in the assignments. Get less and less help from the teachers. The more you become independent at an early age, it's much better for you to take decisions, to become more confident, and to become responsible for your actions, for your studies, for your assignments. So this is one thing. The second thing is behavior-wise, behave respectfully with every other individual you meet. So that's a kind of learning they teach you at the maternal, also the primary, and also the secondary. And behavior wise, as I have seen, normally ill behavior or bad behavior is not tolerated at the workplace, not even between teacher-student relationship, or between the workers, or between or in socially. So treating others respectfully is one of the other important things which we learned, and probably they are also learning at the same time. So these two are the main takeaways from my end.
And one thing when we arrived in Belgium, one thing I was really astonished to see, here people don't lie. Generally, it's a general culture. Means when I saw that in their school, in my kids' school, in my workplace also, people don't hesitate to say that I couldn't come yesterday because I didn't feel like coming.
Oh, okay.
It's not that, means I was not feeling well, I didn't come. There was no excuse that we generally make some excuse. We make up that we had a stomach ache or we had a headache. It's not that common because maybe, I don't know, emotion wise there is a difference in emotional quotient between the Indian people and the Belgian women here. They blatantly speak the truth. Sometimes it's very odd. And if you are working in the Flanders part, means in the Dutch speaking locations of Belgium, they speak truth on your face. Sometimes you feel that they are rude. It's not that rude, but it's that they don't hide the facts, they don't suppress the facts, they just share the truth. It's their nature. So that's one thing that I think that is one way professionally very good, that you don't need to make excuses, you don't need to make up stories for anything that you couldn't do. I couldn't do because I couldn't finish I was doing something else.
Right.
So I couldn't finish my homework. You have to accept the fact that that is what sometimes we as parents also in India, we used to write that for this in the calendar or the diary, where we used to write that we had some friends coming over our place, so she couldn't complete the homework. But here it's not necessary.
Oh,
You can just say that she couldn't complete her homework. That is just because she was doing something else. So it's more the truth. And I think here, obviously one thing is challenging. Anybody who wants to relocate to Europe must be keeping their mind open regarding learning a language. Because sometimes it's not essential for the jobs or the profession, because in a higher education where I was in, it was not necessary, and in his profession also he doesn't need to speak in French or anything. But if you want to live here for a long time, then it's better to get integrated with the people. And the best way to get integrated is to speak in their language. Obviously, in West Bengal, if a person who is from other parts of India, if he tries to speak at least a little bit of Bangla with us, we feel so good. It's the same emotion they also show. Because I speak horrible French, maybe, but now it's a little bit good. But the best way to make them speak English is to speak French. Because after listening to your horrible French, they will start speaking in English. So it's better to keep your mind open to learn a language. And as an Indian mother living here, I will say that it is challenging, because the thing that he told about respectfulness, I will just differ from his opinion. Because I feel that in India, at least, maybe it is an eyewash nowadays, but at least there is a bit of more respect towards teacher. In our days, it was really heartfelt gratitude to all the teachers, because whatever we have learned from the teachers. And since my father is also a teacher, so I will say that and my experience as a teacher is superb, because I have been loved and respected very much. But somewhere, I don't know if it is the problem of this generation, there is a change in attitude towards the teacher. Here it's more, the teachers are not that way respected. They're very casually, they speak in the school, and sometimes I feel that these kids can show a little bit more respect towards the teacher or the teaching profession. And the most important challenge for all the parents across India and Europe is the GSM phone, the smartphone.
Yeah.
That's the same story here also, because it's really a big challenge. Means we have to negotiate about the time. Means I think as a parent we have to negotiate with our kids that it's only 2 hours or only 3 hours, not more than that. So it's the same story here also. It's a challenge for a mother. But yeah, obviously, if a person wants to relocate here, it's as a parent you have to be a facilitator. It's not that you have to guide him through every occasion or every challenge. He or she will make his own way out, and you just be there and just advise, give your advices, or just give your experiences, share your experience, but don't push him or guide him through the path. It's not necessary. So you have to believe that.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much. I think it was a lovely conversation, and
Pleasure.
I'm sure all our viewers are going to, gain a lot of insight, right? If they are planning to shift to, relocating to Belgium or any of the European, countries, it's definitely going to help them. And as what I understood is like, yes, definitely you have to come up with an open mind, and the language is something which would be given a preference, and either someone should learn before relocating or come here and learn it. Yeah, and definitely that education system what we discussed. So there are a lot of differences, and we have to get used to. And as you said, major challenge is studying all the subjects in French language. I'm still wondering how could she manage that, and that's really amazing. Yeah.
If anybody plans to relocate, I think it's better to plan it before your child is 12 years of age, because learning a language is much more easier. I think you will be also agreeing with the fact.
Right.
The more young the person is, the more easy ease with which a person can learn the language.
Okay, so thank you once again.
Sonia, we are also very much thankful to No Hard Mentality for giving us this opportunity to share our views, and
it was an honor.
It was an honor for us.
Big conversation, long conversation. Well, I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I hope the viewers would gain at least some insight about the differences in the education system, and obviously we didn't wanted to compare the education system, but we acknowledge the differences.
Yes, right. Yeah, so I think that's what we also wanted. Because as I said, like we do have lacuna in our Indian education system. So what we can do is we can just pick up goods of other education system and implement. It's like I'm sure it takes a lot of time for schools to change, because they are in action from such a long time. It's very difficult to change the school system. So our purpose is to so that as a parent we can implement, as you said, right? So there are a lot of projects which are given independently, so we don't need to depend on school for that. So we as a parent or know how I can help my child to gain such knowledge. So that's what we wanted to convey to our viewers as well. So thank you so much once again.
Thank you very much. So we are really, it was a privilege. Thank you. And namaste to all the viewers.
And hope to connect with you very soon on maybe some other topic. Yeah?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.